the Bible back to Parliament right here. This is our foundation.
Yes.
When you get off the foundation, it won't go well. Folks, let's get back to the Bible.
Go on, Henry.
The solution is not politics.
No.
We are not short on politicians. We are short on people in government that remember the foundation. We are short on people that recognize the importance of it. Every single politician in this parliament must study the 25 Bible verses that are engraved in that parliament building. 25 Bible verses are engraved in that parliament building, and they don't want to hear a pastor. Forget that. We must get back if we want to do good, if we want to have success. Let's teach the politicians, get back to the Bible. I didn't engrave that. Someone did. I'm just reminding them of our foundation. If you take the house off the foundation, it will sink. And these truckers, I've been moved to tears. These truckers have been honking and honking. You know what that honking means? We want our freedom. Just a word to our Prime Minister. If you don't want to heed to the Word of God, if you don't want to heed to the 25 Bible verses that are engraved, you might have a fringe coming to Ottawa and knock on your door. I always heard that he really cares for the minorities. I guess this is too large for him. Oh, we the people, all we want from our government officials, I stress, all we want from our government officials is we want them to uphold the Constitution. Yes. They're up here for a reason. They may as well help me. All we want is for the government officials to uphold the Constitution, to uphold the Bill of Rights, and most of all, turn this way, and most of all, we want them to uphold the Word of God. You take prayer out of school, you dump God out of everything. Don't expect it to go well. Amen. Don't expect it to go well. Amen, brother. We must get back to the Bible.
Bless you, Pastor.
All we want is them to recognize, and I quote their own words, all we want is them to recognize the supremacy of God. That's all. And if you do that, if you recognize the supremacy of God, you won't jail the pastors and you won't fine the pastors.
Fear the Lord.
You'll come to church too and meet with us. The call is to get back on the foundation. We won't negotiate ourselves out of this mess. We won't negotiate ourselves out of this. What we need is get back on the foundation. That's all. Mr. Prime Minister, there is a very fitting word of advice for your present situation. I hope that all the truckers can hear me, because out of great respect and honor to the truckers, I'm addressing the Prime Minister and telling him we have some advice for him. You know what that is? Don't bite the hand that feeds you. In great respect, I look at those trucks. How does that saying go? If you've got it, the truck brought it. So, Mr. Prime Minister, and I didn't get to finish that yet here. I'll start again, Mr. Prime Minister, sorry. Don't bite the hand that feeds you, but instead deal yourself a hand that will stop you from getting stop you from getting bit by your mind. 2 Timothy 1 verse 7 says, 2 Timothy 1 verse 7, I'm reading out of the King James, for God hath not given us the spirit of fear. God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love. And this will do everyone good, even in the Parliament building. And of a sound mind. We need some sound minds around in there. I have no hatred in my heart. I have no hatred in my heart for anyone, but I hate the devil, I'll admit that. Elisha told his servant when they were in a very difficult situation. Elisha told his servant, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. In closing, I would like to read to you a poem, a non-violent poem, and that is precisely what we are doing here today. Non-violent resistance. If you know the poem, read it with me. All I ask, don't run ahead. Stand ye calm and resolute, like a forest, close and mute, with folded arms and looks, which are weapons of unvanquished war. And if then the tyrants dare, let them ride among you there, slash and stab, and maim and hew. What they like, let them do. We've done it for about 2 years. With folded arms and steady eyes, and little fear and less surprise, look upon them as they slay, till their rage has died away. Then they will return with shame to the place from which they came, and the blood thus shed will speak in hot blushes on their cheek. Rise like lions. Rise like lions after slumber in unvanquishable number. Shake your chains to earth like dew, which in sleep had fallen on you. Ye are many, They are few. I thank God. I thank God for these leaders. I thank God what they have accomplished in the last couple of weeks. I am honored. It is my honor to be in Ottawa. Thank you for letting me be here. Thank you. But we thank God for our leaders like these. And we want to pray now and cover them and all the truckers. We want to cover them with prayer that God would help. If there are other spiritual leaders here, make your way up. Let's pray for these people. Let's pray for these leaders, that God would bless them in a very special way. Heavenly Father, this morning, we thank you that you are God. Father, you see this level that the truckers have brought us to.
Le niveau et la dimension dans laquelle les camionneurs nous ont emmenés.
Father, we thank you
Père, on te remercie
that we are your servants.
que nous sommes tes serviteurs.
Father, we are bringing back God to our parliament.
Nous ramenons Dieu au Parlement.
Father, we thank you for these truckers.
Seigneur, on te remercie, Seigneur, pour ces camionneurs.
We thank you for their sacrifice.
On te remercie, Seigneur, pour leur sacrifice.
We thank you, Lord, for what they're doing.
On te remercie pour ce qu'ils sont en train de faire.
And Father, it is very obvious that in the last couple of weeks, you have used them as a mighty tool.
Et Père, c'est très évident que durant les dernières semaines, tu les as utilisés comme des instruments puissants.
You have helped them
Tu les as aidés
to bring us to a brand new level.
pour nous emmener dans une autre dimension.
And God, we ask that you would cover them.
Et Seigneur, on prie que tu puisses les couvrir,
We ask that you would cover these leaders.
que tu puisses couvrir ces leaders.
Help, dear God, in the coming days
Aide-les, Seigneur, dans les jours qui vont suivre,
and in the coming months.
dans les mois qui sont devant nous.
Father, whatever it takes,
Qu'importe qu'est-ce que ça requiert,
until our God-given freedom is restored.
jusqu'à ce que nos libertés qui nous ont été données par Dieu soient restaurées.
Father, hold your hand over them.
Étends tes mains, Seigneur, sur eux.
Be with them.
Sois avec eux.
And Father, help our country.
Et Seigneur, aide notre pays.
Help Canada.
Aide le Canada.
Father, we need help.
Seigneur, nous avons besoin de ton aide.
Help our government.
Aide nos gouvernements.
Help our Prime Minister.
Aide le Premier ministre.
Father, we ask these things
Nous te demandons ces choses.
in Jesus' precious name.
Dans le nom précieux de Jésus.
Amen, amen, and amen.
Amen, amen, amen.
A big, enthusiastic cheer and claps for Pastor Hillebrand. What was that? Let's see some enthusiasm. Come on! Come on! To everybody here watching, both in Canada and across the world, I want to welcome you enthusiastically to Trudeau's Truck Stop. Home of the fringe majority and unacceptable opinions. I'm going to be very quick. Just give me a couple of minutes and then Tamara's going to speak. The paramedics and the police officers, from somebody who has family, who wears blue, they're on our side. They're our friends. They're our families. That's why we are peaceful and loving. And we're going to work with them to fix this problem. All of us who've grown up in Canada and people in the international world may not understand this as much. We've all grown up in a divided society. Quebec versus Ontario. Alberta versus Ontario. Everybody hates Ontario. and in the entire history of Canada, we finally have achieved unity. And how did we do that? The politicians and the media got out of the way. They were not invited to the party because our men and women who feed us, who sacrifice their lives to live on the road, on a solitary existence, to keep us fed, they said, enough. And yesterday was amazing. It was amazing. We walked over to the park right on the Quebec border, where the government, the weasels in the government, not our cops, thought, what strategically could we do? Let's close the bridges. Let's pull over the trucks. So you know what they did from Quebec? They made the pilgrimage to cross the bridge by foot into Ontario. To join with their Canadian brethren from Ontario, Alberta, the Prairie provinces, and those who have driven here from the Maritimes for us to be unified for the very first time. We are not going to allow the political class to divide us. That ends now. And let's talk about the fake news media for a second. So all this week, the fake news media has been chasing us. And they didn't seem to get the message that we're not interested. We don't need you. You're the problem. Last night even, there's some program called The National, I've never heard of it, but anyways, there's some program on some broad, they're texting me like crazy. I don't know where they got their phone number. So all this week, hey, we're your friend, and I know what they are. Last night I got a message. What is your statement on the Terry Fox controversy? What controversy? Somebody put on a piece of paper on the Terry Fox statue that says, mandate freedom. That's not a controversy. And by the way, to the fake news media, do you really think Terry Fox would be against the basic freedoms that allowed him to run across our great country, which we can't do now? And it's all of you who coalesced behind the truckers, behind the greatest, this is the greatest generation, or will be, of people who brought the country together. It's all of you that we thank for coming on board and helping us get this message to the world. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You deserve to. Thank you. I want to talk about this amazing woman right here. She's gonna cry.
That's all right.
I met this woman several years ago when I took a trip to Alberta with Tom Quigan, who was over there. Hey, Tom. And I saw what the policies of division has done to Alberta and the Prairie provinces. It's like a third world country in many cities that you got to go there. You have to see what these people have done to Western Canada. And Ontario needs to step up. Quebec needs to step up. The Maritimes needs to step up and start to support the Prairie provinces in unity against these people who are trying to divide us. And this is the woman who is leading the fight. She's one of those people, when you get to meet her, she has this magnetic energy about her. It's all positivity. It's all love. It's all compassion. That's why this has not been a violent or in any way controversial gathering. It's the biggest block party in Canada's history, and our dancing clown of a prime minister is not invited. So when leaders around the world ask, how did you put together such a peaceful gathering in Ontario, which is only starting today, by the way. They think we're going to be out of here in a couple of days? No. This is just starting. But the reason it's so peaceful is because of the Canadian spirit and because of this woman's spirit and positive energy that's been guiding all of us. Thank you, Tamara. That's all I want to say for now. We're going to be having a news conference later on. I want to hand it over to Tamara, say a couple of words. She needs some encouragement. She needs a great big applause for her. And thank her for everything that has happened this week.
Thank you, everybody. I'm so glad to see all of you out here. I've been doing a lot of lives. I don't know if I have any more tears left to cry, but I think you've all seen me cry just about every day for the last 2 weeks. And that's okay. I've said many times that we have to come together now, and we're going to have to heal after all this is over. But to see all of you here as one, refusing to be divided by race or culture or faith or beliefs anymore, or geography, right? We are all Canadian citizens, and I've never been more proud to be a Canadian than I am right now. The one thing that we've seen on our social media and talking to people all along the way, the crowds we've seen were amazing. And what this movement has started and created is hope. Hope that so many people have lost. So many people that were not proud to be a Canadian anymore. But we deserve to be proud. And I said yesterday, if you have your flag turned upside down, please put it back right side up. And be proud to be a Canadian. And be proud of what you've done, and be proud of these guys. I am not a hero. These are the heroes. These are the people that stood up, your blue-collar men and women who bring your products and bring your food and bring your medical supplies. Right? These are the heroes. I'm just here to support them and help them. And you guys are so beautiful. Thank you all for coming, and thank you so much for all of the support that you've shown us this whole time. It's been a crazy, crazy couple of weeks. To the clan mothers who came, it's important for us all to work together because we still have a lot of work to do, and we still have a lot of healing to do. And we're going to do it because we are not leaving until all of you and all of your kids are free. We're not leaving until you can open up your businesses. We're not leaving until you can hug your best friend. We're not leaving until you can go and see your parents in a long-term care facility. And for your children to have a birthday party. This ends now. And we're going to do it peacefully. And we're going to do it with compassion. And we're going to get through this together, everybody. So I implore you to love one another. Stretch your hands out to one another and help each other, because we've all lost so much, but no more. Hold your heads up high, Canada. We love you. Thank you. Marie would just like to say a few words here too before we go. Thank you so much.
Mercy Cho, thank you. Now that we are here, we have taken that first step. So what do? We start taking that second step forward. How do we do that?
Together!
How do we do this? How do we take that second step? How do we get rid of the tyranny? Remember, this institution was given a corporate number from the United States of America.
Yes, yes.
We must fire that institution, society number out of the USA, and create our own government that includes all.
We the people. We the people.
How do you do this? Remember, this institution thrives on contracts, just like the truckers, just like the businesses. So we fire this institution.
Yes, yes.
We fire the number.
Yes.
We fire the contractor.
Yes,
The contracts have failed the people, have failed the tribal people, have failed you all. Remember what they perfected on the tribal children and the women and the communities. They have now pushing that onto you, the civilians that came to this country, because you have freedom and liberty. Yes, you have freedom and liberty. You can get it back. Fire that government.
yes, yes, yes.
I need help. I need help from the people here. I took steps. Every time I see a situation, I try to resolve it, because that's what we do as grandmothers, as great-grandmothers. That's what we do. I am now a great-grandmother. Okay, we all are grandparents. We all are mothers and fathers, uncles and aunties, cousins and relatives. That's who we are. That's in our heart. So what I am asking this movement is to help me. Why? I obtained copyrights to the Income Tax Act of this institution. It's there. Our names are on it. Clan Mother Sandra McKenzie, myself, and her brother Dean. It's a miracle that we're able to get copyrights to the Income Tax Act, to the Child Welfare Act, to the Indian Act, and the Dominion Lands Act. That's how this institution has empowered themselves. And they made you believe that they are the truth. We are the truth. No one can no longer take your truth away. So we, together, if they are going to tax our people for being unvaccinated, let's use that document and stop their help us with the next step. There are solutions. Our grandparents taught us that. So let's unite under this common purpose and take it down in a peaceful way and use their system. Thank you.
The last thing we want to talk about is getting the word out. I think hashtag Trudeau's truck stop has a good sound to it. Right? We're in here for the long haul.
Yes.
This is not ending tonight or anytime soon. Use your devices over the next while, tomorrow, the next day. We need to keep this going. Freedom Convoy Canada, hashtag Trudeau's truck stop. Let's get that trending as soon as we can. Thank you, everybody.
Can I have a mic? Hello, Canada! Hello! My name is Kristin Nagle. I am a registered nurse, and I'm one of the organizers for Adopt a Trucker. And I can tell you, it has been something to get this going on. And just to receive everybody, and you guys have been so amazing, so peaceful, so beautiful, completely blowing the mainstream's narrative. No! No boys! They are calling us racist. They're calling us misogynist. We are the fringe minority with unacceptable views. So I have a trucker from the Eastern Division, and I'm bringing him up ahead of the VIPs and the fancy fences, because if it weren't for him, none of this would happen. Please welcome trucker from the Eastern Division with the cowboy hats. Show him some love.
What a journey with tears. It was an honor to lead the East Coast to Ottawa. United, in unity, we stand. The truckers who deliver everything to your households have united with the people. The people are standing with the truckers, not only in Canada, also in alliance with the US, in Europe, in Asia. Look around the world. All the Bravehearts. That's what we call them today, the Bravehearts. The Braveheart truckers. And we, the people, and the truckers, won't let you down. We are making history. History like the world never has seen before. Politicians, they can speak their language. They can take the battles. At the end of the day, the people, they are the ones to decide. I had the honor to be given a letter when I left Enfield. I don't know the woman. She put a bag in my truck. I didn't open the bag until the first night about 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm going to read you that letter.
My toes are numb.
On the street. We should all go there and come back with this.
To you first thing, thank you.
I can't wait.
That's a thank you to the truckers, to the Bravehearts. You don't know me, but we want you to know we are so proud to be part of this moment in time when Canadians stood up and wiped off our snow-covered boots and took a stand for freedom. Our children deserve a world where there is no division, darkness, and borders. One where we are all free, where we can laugh the big laugh out, life, and share moments together without fear and control. As you understand, as you stand on guard for thee, know we are standing with you. Thank you for all you're doing and for leading the charge. Our prayers are with you and thoughts it all. If the dark moments creep, then remember the self-care kit we have attached, which I will honor. The dark nights of the soul have been sought, and the moments when we have felt the most hopeless, we need to be reminded we are not alone, and light and the energy wins. Bless all you truckers, the Bravehearts, from our home in Nova Scotia, Canada, the land and country of the free. Safe travels, safe travels. And these are the Bravehearts for the people. I heard earlier that this is Trudeau's truck stop. No, it's the Bravehearts truck stop. That's what it is. Thank you. God bless you. We all miss you. We won't let you down. And we know you don't let us down. Welcome me.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you, Eastern Division. Thank you, truckers. Oh, are we an excited bunch today? I have some fancy doctors, but do you guys feel like doing a round? We're going to do many rounds of this. We ready for a round of O Canada, guys? All right. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, with all our sons command, with glowing hearts we see the right, the true north, strong and free, from far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God bless you. We love you. Stand on guard. Oh, amen, amen, amen. Amen. Yeah, that's right. Okay, we have George Baird here from Taking Back Our Freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, we know truckers are blue collar. We're blue collar. But we have some white collars here who are here to defend us. Our intuitions have proof. So let me start with George Baird from Taking Back Our Freedoms.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My friends and my colleagues drove 49 hours straight from Calgary to be here today. Thank you so much. I'm going to pass out these cards, and when you take a picture of the card, you're going to get a message. It'll take you directly to our website, and a message from our chairman of the board, the only living first minister in the country who was there in 1982 to sign the Constitution and the Charter of Rights the true living legend, the premier, the only real premier in this country, and his name is Brian Peckford. When you take your camera and scan the QPC code, you're not going to tell you whether you're vax. Screw the vax. It's going to tell you a message from the founder of the Charter of Rights and Freedom. I'm going to pass this out, pass these around.
One of those actually.
Pass these around and get a message from Brian Peckford. It's a real honor to be here today. My name is George Bears. I grew up on Prince Edward Island. I live in Calgary, Alberta. I went to Calgary because of its freedom 25 years ago. And I have a message for Premier Jason Kenney. End the mandates. Support the truckers.
Yeah!
Support the people. Support our country. And I have a message for CBC and CTV and Global. You want to do an interview with me today? Lose my number. Lose my number. Screw the mainstream media because they're trying to screw us. We stand for the truckers. We stand for the people of Canada. We stand for the people who are here. We're speaking to a French group. And this is a mighty fine French group. And I love being a part of this French group. The name of our organization is called Taking Back Our Freedom. Hear me! Taking back our freedom! Taking back our freedom! Taking back our freedom! Taking back our freedom! Taking back our freedom!
Taking back our freedom! Taking back our freedom!
When my good friend Roy Byer and I saw the mess and the double cross that Premier Jason Kenney did last fall with these illegal mandates, we said it's time to step up. And when I was driving in here last night with one of my dear friends, Dr. Paul Alexander, who's on our board, he used to work for the Trump White House. He's a man of character, he's a man of courage, and he's a man of conviction. And I said the last time I was in Ottawa was in June 30th, 1991. Because down the street here, I was national director of an organization called Victims of Violence. And I worked with families of homicide. 30 years later, I'm coming back here. Only this time, the criminals are not Clifford Olson. The criminals are the 10 premiers in our country. And this prime minister. And they need to be held criminally responsible. And to all the union bosses in Canada, you're siding with the globalists. Let's boycott the union bosses. Let's boycott the mainstream media. And let's support our truckers. God bless our truckers. I have two messages from you. This is not about statistics. This is about real lives. And in this country, everyone here has someone who loves them. And I have a message. When I used to work down in the Burnside building with families of homicide, I worked for 3 years getting Charles' name extradited to California. Now I'm going to work on your behalf to have these guys criminally charged for crimes against humanity. And I come here today with a message from two families in Canada, and they gave me permission to share their stories. These are not statistics. These are victims of criminal actions by Justin Trudeau and 10 premiers in this country. The first message is the story of my friend from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. Her name is Cheryl Moberly. She's a friend of mine. And Cheryl Moberly has a 39-year-old daughter. And on the 12th of October, last fall, her daughter has 4 children to feed and support as a single mom. And the only way she could keep her job was to take the jab. She took the jab on the 12th of October. And on the 17th of October, her mom, Cheryl, had to fight for 2.5 hours to get in the hospital to see her daughter because Cheryl's not vaxxed and she refused to wear a mask. After 2.5 hours to get in to see her daughter, Jolene, she got up to ICU and she said to the doctors, she saw her daughter through the glass, "Why do you have towels around my daughter's wrists, tying her to the bed rails?" And the doctor said, "You shouldn't even be up here. You're not vaxxed. You're not wearing a mask." And she said something I won't repeat, but God bless her for saying it. She fought her way in to see her daughter. And her daughter said, "Mommy." And she gently took the mask off her daughter, and her daughter was sweating. She gently untied her hands. And 2 hours and 15 minutes later, she died. That's murder! These people, they need to be held accountable. We need to follow the due process. The last story I have to you, I spoke to this man 20 years ago. I'm taking my hat off to honor all truckers in North America. You're heroes. You're changing history. We salute you, truckers. I salute you, truckers from Vancouver to Newfoundland, from San Diego to Miami. We salute you. I spoke to a trucker 45 minutes ago. He's from Barrie, Ontario. And my trucker friend from Barrie, Ontario, his name, I just spoke to him 45 minutes ago. He's a friend of mine. I honor Dan Hartman, trucker in Canada today. Dan Hartman has one son, 17-year-old young hockey player. In order for him to play hockey last fall, he had to take the killer jab. And Sean Hartman, on the 25th of August last summer, against his will, that 17-year-old boy took the jab and didn't tell his dad. As a parent, we can all relate to this. And when we have criminal convictions, we need to follow peaceful demonstration, due course of law. Let the system take its course. But we're going to stand with Dan Hartman, trucker, and here's why. Because on the 27th day of September, just a month afterwards, Dan Hartman lost his only son to the vaccine. We need to stop this. We need to stand for the truckers. And the last thing I want to say, I said to Dan, tomorrow, Sean, it's his birthday. Tomorrow is Sean's 18th birthday. So we got a trucker in this country who's not going to be able to celebrate Sean's 18th birthday. And he said, you guys can sing happy birthday to Sean in his memory. To honor our trucker friend Dan Hartman, join me in singing a farewell happy birthday to Sean Hartman. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Sean Hartman. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. We started taking back our freedom. To finish a job I started in '86, I worked as National Director of Victims of Violence with Gary and Sharon Roosevelt, working with families who were murdered, loved ones were murdered, and now we're going to finish the job. We did it peacefully then. We're going to do it peacefully now. We followed due course then. We're going to follow due course now. But I salute the police officers. I salute my friend Brian Dennison, who's on our board. His video went 2 million strong. He's a courageous police officer, standing for every police officer in the country. I salute Brian Dennison. I salute the doctors. I salute Brian Pickford as our chairman of the board. And I salute these doctors. The doctor I want to introduce, I just want to introduce, here's a hero in this country for police officers. This man stands for every police officer in Canada, United States, and around the world. Our board of advisors for taking back our freedom. My friend, give a warm Ottawa welcome for Brian Dennison.
I want to say thank you for having me. It's been a long road to get here, but I am here to stand up for all law enforcement. We all need to be on your side. Everybody here that's wearing a uniform needs to be on this side of history. And I'm calling on every single police officer to stand up for freedom. Freedom! 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 Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, you've got another introduction. All right, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, a real hero in Canada, United States, and around the world. My friend, former executive within the Trump West Wing White House. Will you please give a warm Ottawa welcome to a Canadian hero, Dr. Paul Alexander.
Let's give it up for our police. Let's give it up for the truckers of the United States and truckers of Canada. Listen, I stood at the steps of the Lincoln Memorial about 4 days ago with the Defeat the Mandates, and I was in the company of Peter McCullough, Robert Malone, these giants in science globally, but nothing prepared me for what I came to see today. Long live Canada! Look, I'm in the company of Dr. Roger Hodkinson from Alberta, one of the globe's top pathologists. So I want to be brief and I want to be clear. We've looked at the science for 22 months now, and we have told the government of Canada, the government of the United States, UK, Scotland, every nation in this world, you do not lock the society down. You should have never closed schools. We had reports in the administration of 7 and 8-year-old American children hung themselves. They could not take the school closures and the lockdowns. And we begged them. Trump fought them. He fought them daily. He fought them every day to open the schools. But the CDC and the unions are an unholy, corrupted alliance.
Lock them
Never, ever do we give these people the emergency powers we gave them again. When a government takes emergency powers, they will never, ever give it back to you. Ever. You have to take it back peacefully and legally. When you give them those powers, they will maximally abuse it. They will abuse you. You can never get out of this tyrannical system by compliance. We need to take it back peacefully. And I want to say this about the mandates. We've looked at the data. There's no difference scientifically. When we look at the actual data, we've published 42 studies to show that there's no difference between a vaccinated and an unvaccinated person. In fact, the science is very, very clear, and the public health officials in Canada are not in line. They are not contemporary with the science. The science shows that the vaccinated actually harbors far much more viral load, and the vaccinated person transmits virus. It is not a pandemic of the unvaccinated. It never has been. And let me close with this. We looked at the data 22 months now, and we told them children are at statistical zero risk of acquiring this infection in the first place. Children are at statistical zero risk of transmitting it to children, of taking it home, or of getting severely ill. We showed them in the United States of America, and I'm going to be very, very clear with this. Not one healthy child has died of COVID. It's a very important statement. Not one healthy child has died of COVID. This was a hoax. The response, not the virus, was a hoax. This virus presented serious problems for at-risk vulnerable people. We knew that, but we knew that we had early treatment. We could have properly secured the vulnerable in our society with an age-risk stratified approach, focused protection. We did not need to lock the society down. We did not need to close schools. We didn't need to do none of this. We told them 22 months. So we looked at the data, and every single lockdown across the entire world.
Hey guys, this
all failed. The Canadian public health officials, the American public health officials, they have catastrophic pandemic emergency over. The Omicron variant is the mildest of the variants, and is operating how a virus should operate. It is time now. The government of Canada should take this exit strategy. This is an offer the government of Canada should take. It's a gift. Open the society, end the mandates. There is no reason for this anymore, and allow the truckers their freedom. End the mandates. Let me introduce now one of my very good friends from Manchester, Dr. Roger Hopkinson. I cannot even walk in the shadows, so I want him to come here. I want to team him up. He's one of the best people in this world. Over to Dr. Hopkinson. Hello, truckers! Hello, freedom fighters! We're not gonna take it anymore! Repeat after me! It's over! O-B-E-R! It's over! Wait for the hills! What's it take to get here? Everyone has failed. Doctors, the media, politicians, the church. We've all failed. And what did it take to get here? Guys with dirty fingernails! The truckers! The truckers! Thank you! Nothing is good. Nothing is good. Nothing could work. Nothing did work. And therefore nothing will work. It's got to stop. You gotta figure what is scientist or a medical specialist to realize that if you're doing the same goddamn thing over and over and over again and it's not working, just maybe it's not working! You lot! You morons! Stand up! Let me tell you something. I'm a musician, and every single death counts. They are not statistics. They're not numbers with zeros. Has it really come to this? Child sacrifice to appease these two gods. Has it really come to this? Let me tell you, it didn't make the rain fall for the Aztecs, and it won't stay flooding in the nursing home. It's got to stop. Repeat after me. Enough! Enough! No! We're not taking prisoners! We're not negotiating! This is not a time for dinner to negotiate! We're gonna stop it now! Finally, support two things. Taking back our freedoms. You've heard from George. It's a national movement led by Braveheart. And if there's going to be any federal response to this, it's going to be Max Bernier, who's from the BBC, and he's here now! Thank you, Max, and thank you all for coming, and thank you, Choppers of Canada!
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that is Dr. Hodgkinson and Dr. Paul.
Maybe we'll run right here and fight for freedom. So let me tell you something. Every single person here should be very proud of yourself, because at some point you were instrumental in speaking to somebody besides you, your family, your friends. And I know it's been tough. It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years, and now we have apparently some guy that works in here is calling us a racist, misogynist. Let me tell you something. He's in a lot of trouble, because it looks like there's over 1 million people fighting right here, right now, for freedom. You know, I'm going to tell you something. This is the kind of people that we need to run in a low level, from school board trustees, from counselors to mayors all across this country. So maybe down in City of Toronto, we have a spineless mayor. Might have to shift them over because there's a Desantis in the north coming very soon. So I ask people to tell and encourage people, we need our people that understand what's going on. So you should all be proud of yourself. And it's empowering. Wow, so many people. You know, I took a walk. It took me half an hour to go through. And I gave up. There's so many truckers. This is what it took to unite the whole country together. We have people from BC, from the east to the west to the north. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't know what he's going to do. He's got to come out of his basement at some point. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave it at this. And I always say this. I say it like this. You can take it all away from me. My fortunes, everything I've done. But you'll never take away our freedom. Never. 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 You'll never take away our freedom. Thank you very much. I'm Danny Desantis, and I'm going to fight tooth and nail. But I want to do one other thing, because I think I know we all want, is freedom! 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 I love you guys.
Thank you, Danny. Next up, we're going to have a few representatives from a group I think we've all heard of called Police on Guard for Thee. For those who haven't heard of them, which I'm sure are few among this crowd, they are active and retired duty police officers. So here we go.
Okay, can you hear us at the back? I was here yesterday and I disrespected you because I didn't tell the story because I got too emotionally involved in it. So then we got the horns. But anyway, what we're doing is we're going to correct that by two things. One, I brought a couple of notes. Two, I brought a friend who's going to tell you the story. So, okay, he said hold the mic closer to your mouth. Okay, this man you're going to meet is like the North Star. We've been interacting online for over a year. I've told him I love him, I lay my life on the line for him, and he's told me the same thing. The crazy part is we never met till Friday night. Isn't that crazy? So, when I was a child, my parents taught me that the most trusted person you can have around you if you're in trouble is a police officer. And I've always had that respect for them, right? So, we go out the road on an icy winter night, going to an icy pond. This is the man you'd want there to come in and pull you out. He'd give his life to pull you out of the vehicle. He'd give you life. He'd stand from a bullet to protect you. And when he saw this, what was going on, he created Police on Guard. Would you please welcome the co-founder, Kristin Nagle.
So this is what a fringe minority looks like, eh? Yeah. And I guess we have some unacceptable views as well, don't we? Yeah. Does freedom sound unacceptable to anyone here in this crowd? Let me hear that again. Is freedom unacceptable? No. Listen up. When I signed up to be a police officer, I took an oath. And that oath was to uphold the Constitution and the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. One of those rights is the right to informed consent, the right to bodily autonomy. Okay? Well, the man that sits in that office says, if you disagree with me, you're a misogynist, you're a racist, and you're a fringe part of this community in this country. I say, too bad for your views, buddy, because if this is a minority, then I am so proud to be a part of it. Because it doesn't look like much of a minority to me. Okay? So I'm going to talk to you about this boy here, okay? I am good personal friends with his father, who is broken right now. The man's heart has been ripped out of his chest. He just wanted to play hockey. That's all Sean wanted to do. He wouldn't even drink a pop, a soda, because he thought it was bad for him, and he wanted to go as far with his career in hockey as he could. He was passionate about playing the game that Canada loves. And what did he get for it? He died, okay? A month after receiving his first shot, he was found dead in his bed. They did everything they said they could. Then they did the background because the father, Dan, refused to accept the fact that this just happens to a 17-year-old boy. Guess what the results were? Unascertained. Does it sound normal to anyone here in this crowd that a 17-year-old boy just dies for no reason? No! And how many more are there that are suffering the same consequences of this government's mandate? Well, I say this. I say here today we have declared as Canada, not as a fringe minority, but as a vast majority. We are not white supremacists. Are you kidding me? Look around the crowd. Does anybody have eyes in their head outside of this movement to see that there are people from every walk of life and religion and creed? And guess what? We're all standing together. We're all standing together. We are Canada. 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 Yes. resolved, they're removed, and we have our freedoms fully restored. God bless every one of you. God bless Canada. I couldn't be more proud to stand with you.
Thank you, thank you. All right, so up next, we're going to hear from another member of our team of doctors and medical professionals that have been consistently silenced. Right here we have Dr. Chris Allen Shoemaker, a community doctor from Ottawa. Et pour nos francophones, on a ici notre médecin communautaire d'Ottawa, Dr. Chris Allen Shoemaker.
Merci beaucoup. Hello, everyone. What a day. What a 2 years. It's been awful. But it didn't need to be quite as awful. We could have had other measures in place and being actively used right from the beginning. But only now is the information coming out. It's pretty sad. But I'd like to go back to some happier memories of mine. I was emergency doc for 25 years. Some of it in Ottawa, some about it in Vancouver and Kelowna. So I know emergency medicine. I know the need to say hello, to meet, greet, and treat our patients. And among the things that I did, I put chest tubes in car accident victims. I diagnosed heart attacks. I saved patients from overdose. But very importantly, as ER docs, we started antibiotics or antiviral therapies for infectious disease patients. As I say, we lumped all of our activities in which we might see 35 patients in a day or a shift into the following mantra: meet them, greet them, treat them, and treat them. Because hopefully a lot of our patients got to go home and they were well enough and they didn't have to come into the hospital. But of the four things I mentioned, the most important thing was to treat. What use is it to go to a medical doctor if they can't treat you? We need to let the doctor and the patient together decide what is the best acceptable treatment to reduce the stress and risk of their active infection. Other doctors were on the stage about 2 hours ago. They're marvelous people. They're heroes to me. They're specialized individuals who have been able to point out that significant treatments, which were very safe, were not allowed to be used. If these medications were used in the pre-thrombosis stage, hospitalizations were virtually completely avoidable. You know what these two baseline medications are. You followed the news, or when you can get it from sources that aren't too bizarre. Ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine were proven by high-level U.S. military researchers to be massively effective against SARS-CoV-1. That was known in 2016. 2016, all of the agencies knew that the best antivirals sitting there ready to go if there was ever a viral pandemic were hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin. These just didn't come into the picture a couple of years later or in the midst of the pandemic. They were completely known in 2016. But a certain doctor named Fauci in the south of us, he wanted to ignore it. He had personal reasons for wanting to ignore it. He had personal reasons for wanting to hide the source and the mechanism of this pandemic occurring. And so he and others went to great lengths to say that antiviral treatments
just shouldn't be used. And they put out fake information involving its lack of safety, and it was completely fake. I prescribed hydroxychloroquine 35 years ago to patients going to Vietnam who wanted to not get malaria. So they took it for 4 weeks. They took that drug for 4 weeks, they and their children, to safely not get malaria. They all came back happy, had a lovely holiday. No sickness, no heart complications. Hydroxychloroquine has been safe for decades. Ivermectin is also a form of an antiviral, although it works by a different mechanism. But again, the U.S. military researchers found it to be safe, spoke to its safety, and recommended its use if there was ever a pandemic of a COVID type. You don't think this is a COVID type? I think we've been told for 2 years this is a COVID type infection, right? Well, the proof was there that it was perfectly safe. And my next set of heroes from out of the United States have been using it aggressively. These names you will know: Dr. Pierre Corey, internist, USA; Dr. Peter McCullough, cardiologist, USA; Dr. Mary T. Bowden, fabulous intensive care specialist, Houston, USA. Dr. Bowden has saved about 1,000 patients through her pre-hospital clinic and continues to do to this moment. Now, they're smart people. They're smart enough for me to respect their opinions and their reasons for having their opinions. You're smart people because you've observed and you know some of the things that they've told you on the internet or YouTube or wherever they've managed to get the message out to. But it doesn't need to be that way. There's many countries where it's being used aggressively and appropriately. Sorry for having these people who use notes, but unaccustomed as I am to public speaking. And it is the truth. All right, here's a bit more truth. The following countries have allowed ivermectin to be used regularly in their population: India, Argentina, Brazil, Japan, among others. And in the case of Japan, would you say it's a fairly advanced country? You know, they're able to run an Olympics. They've got an incredible downtown in a city of 18 million people. I think they're pretty sophisticated. Well, 8 months ago, when the government finally said to their physicians, we encourage you to actively use ivermectin in the safety of this pandemic. And at that point, their rate of infection dropped in half within 2 weeks of beginning to use it. And those rates have continued to remain low and manageable because they used it. And, you know, it's not that you can go to the store and get it. Doctors do know dosing. We do how to know to give an appropriate medication. People who call this horse medicine, they're idiots. Just because your doctor gives you some Benadryl and in a different setting gives your cat some Benadryl, does it make it cat medicine? No, it's just Benadryl. So if you take human-grade Benadryl in an appropriate dose, you're safe. Equally, if you take human-grade, prescribed by a doctor, ivermectin, you're perfectly safe. Oh, and by the way, you won't die of COVID.
Thank you for the truth. 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 Thank you for the truth.
Well, you're welcome for the truth, and I'm going to share one very important truth that we all got to learn of today. If we were looking on our cell phones yesterday or our televisions today. Yesterday, Sweden banned the viral treatment, the mRNA treatment, the vaccines for children 5 to 11. Children 5 to 11. And it wasn't a political decision. It wasn't a crowd making the decision. This is the most serious scientists of Sweden deciding that the risks to children are so high compared to the minimal assistance of getting the vaccine. In fact, the approximate ratio is there's 100 children that have to get significantly ill from the vaccine to prevent one child from getting COVID.
All lives matter! All lives matter! All lives matter! All lives matter!
Well, in any case, that's all the news I've got for you. I really praise Sweden for stepping forward and making it illegal and wrong and impossible for a child 12 and under to receive this vaccine. I expect Sweden to change it so that even 17 and below is stopped within the next 2 weeks. It's just too damaging. In conclusion, I just want to say that you all have the rights to your employment. You have the rights to cross between borders. You have the rights to be safe, but you also have the right to decide what goes into your body. One more page. Hang in with me. I guess my final point is, and it's certainly not about vaccines, it's simply about that the pandemic can be over in a couple of weeks. We can stop the most dangerous mandate. The most dangerous mandate was not the mandates of the last 6 months. The most dangerous mandate was the mandate of 18 months ago. The mandate of 18 months ago that prevented me from a doctor from giving a safe, normal couple of medications that would reduce someone's infection time from 14 days down to 3 or 4. And you know what? If you can keep it down to days 3 and 4 instead of 14, they don't get to day 14 because we all know what happens after that. Day 14 and beyond, you're in the ICU, and that's it. So therapeutics could have been in place, should have been in place, but it doesn't stop it from starting now. You can write the Canadian Medical Association. You can write the colleges of all the doctors in Canada. You can write the Canadian Pharmacy Association, which has cooperated with the other agencies to prevent doctors. I only wanted to do one thing a year and a half ago. I wanted to cure a few patients. I wanted to save a few patients. And the medical agencies prevented it. God bless you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, here on this hill, there's a lot of ivermectin dealers in the far corners. So if you're looking for some ivermectin, go check by the West Block. There's some dealers over at the East Block. We're having none of it. Early treatment is the way. Get it in ya. It's good for ya. I'll hand the virus over to Dagny here.
So, Bethan, who's your dealer?
I got a few doctors right here. We can get ivermectin. We'll get you ivermectin, but it's better to get it off the black market at this point.
We gotta keep it on the down low. The mainstream media is gonna just tear us to pieces. All right. So next up, we're going to have a medical professional from Frontline Nurses. And before, just for 1 second. OK. On aimerait remercier tous nos orateurs ici aujourd'hui. Il et elles sont ici grâce à vous, grâce à notre mouvement et grâce aux camionneurs. Et on aimerait souligner le fait que c'est grâce à nos camionneurs qu'on est ici. They came from far and wide, and anything that we find around us on store shelves, the gas that you put in your vehicles, it's all thanks to our truckers. Merci, camionneurs. So we have Kristin Nagle here, an amazing nurse and freedom fighter, the co-founder of Frontline Nurses. Thank you. Hello, Canada! Let's just say hello And I am so emotional, been in and out of crying just for weeks, leading up to this for days and right now. So bear with me. You guys have to do an exercise I do at all my local rallies. So I'm going to start on this side. I need you to repeat after me. I am free. 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 And everyone all together. I am free. So my name is Kristin Nagle. There's a lot of people here. Many might not know my story or who I am. I'm a nurse of 14 years that worked in the NICU. That's with premature babies that fit in the size of my hand. I first held a freedom rally in my hometown in London, Ontario, November 2020. The media ripped me apart, said I was a dangerous nurse putting premature babies at risk. The media destroyed me, but it wasn't going to stop me. I found another Canadian nurse, and the two of us traveled to Washington, D.C. to meet up with 4 other American nurses. And we spoke on a health and freedom stage with people like Kevin Jenkins, Del Bigtree, and Mickey Willis. Do you know what day that was? That was January 6th. We were nowhere near the Capitol. We were at the Supreme Court. I actually was there and had no idea what was happening. But when we flew home, we were deemed domestic terrorists. We had the RCMP show up on our doorstep because they wanted to know our involvement in the storming of the Capitol. I have had nursing schools teach their nursing students about what not to do. Don't do what Kristin Nagle did and storm the Capitol. We were defamed internationally across the media, but it didn't stop us. We formed the Canadian Frontline Nurses and have been advocating ever since. Because I may be a nurse, but I am a mother first. And this is not the Canada that I wanted my boys to grow up in, nor for any of the children. We are not a country of hate, of anger, of segregation, or discrimination. We are Canadian, and we are proud, and we are peaceful, and we are loving, just like we are showing the world these past few days, and this is just the start. This is the Canada I want my boys and our future generations to grow up in. We've had people that stayed up all night shoveling the Parliament walkway here. People are cleaning up garbage. People are making sure people have food, rooms, showers, bathrooms. They're looking out for each other. This is Canada. This is uniting, and we are uniting the world. We have felt alone in this movement, like we weren't making any difference. And my heart, I am so full of emotion because we just felt like one person, and an enormity of the size of these trucks showing up, bringing Canada together. You guys have our backs. Thank you, truckers! I'm going to wrap it up. I know there's a lot of amazing speakers, so just bear with me because I think this is important to end on because it speaks to my heart. So this is 1 John 4 from verse 18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear. Because fear has to do with punishment. And the one who fears is not perfect in love. So what are we here? We are Canadian, and we are here with love. Love is what drives out evil in this hate. We are going to win this with love. We are going to win this with staying peaceful. We're going to win this with being higher than them. We are love. And just remember, it doesn't end here in Ottawa. It doesn't end here when you leave this Parliament. It doesn't end when you go back home. Enough is enough. We are here. The people have spoken. We have drawn the line, and we are free. There's no more complying. We are done. So take off the masks, stop consenting, and remember, what did we start with? I am free! 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 I am Thank you very much, Canada. Thank you to everyone that's here and watching abroad. Thank you to the world. Thank you for all your support. And thank you, truckers!
Hello. It's an emergency. Oh my goodness, we've got like so many more amazing speakers, and it's getting hectic here, guys. And you know, our poor audio-visual team, we'd like to thank Advantage Audio and Wallace Sound for bringing us decent sound today. And if you ever need a crane, go see that guy get his card. You never know, you might have a big job in your backyard next summer. That's your guy. All right, yeah, that's your guy too. All right, do we have our emergency response team, or is it just Bullford? We got just Bullford. You guys might know this man. He's another famous Canadian. I'd like to introduce one of the sweetest, most incredible, driven, strong, passionate men in the world. He's got also backed by an extraordinary wife. Where is she? Is she right down there? She's Piper. Where is she? Piper, I see you. All right, you have to. Hi, family! Bullford family! I'll hand it over to Daniel Bullford.
Thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to be very brief. I don't have anything real magical prepared. I've been really busy. Ran up the hill to come get my quick little speech in. I've been up here many, many times for events in the last 8 years. Not quite like this. For anyone who may not know who I am, my name is Danny Bullford. I just resigned from 15 years with the RCMP as a result of this. I've been a spokesperson for Mounties for Freedom since the fall. And I've also been working with another group. You've had some of their speakers up here already, called Taking Back Our Freedoms. The amazing Paul Alexander and Brian Dennison and George Bears, and the list goes on and on. Dr. Jessica Rose. It's surreal, the people I've come into contact with
as a result of all this. Incredible people that were very heroic, very early, speaking out against what we all can see was wrong with what the government was doing, with the authoritarian style overreach into our private lives.
Yes.
It's been a real roller coaster. I've had many ups, many downs. I really was on the fence a number of times about getting my family out of here. And I can tell you right now, nothing has given me this much hope in a long time. The elites didn't factor in the grit and the courage and the resilience of the working Canadian men and women. I love you all. God bless our truckers. And God bless all of you for coming down here and showing what freedom and unity and Canada is all about. I will never, ever forget what happened here today. I will never, ever stop being eternally grateful for what each and every one of you has done to make this come together and to keep this safe and lawful and peaceful so that they can't lay any of their derogatory terms on us. There is no way this many people are a fringe minority. Look around. Look at the diversity in this crowd. We are all here for one reason and one reason only, and that is to demand that we have our freedom over our bodily autonomy. I refuse to stand by and do nothing and allow my children to grow up in a country where their government can tell them what they have to do with their body. Not happening.
My choice. My body. My choice.
My body, my choice.
My body. My choice. My body. My choice. My body. My choice. My choice.
Thank you, everyone, from the deepest recess of my heart.
Thank you.
I just want to say one more thing. Some might agree, some might not. But I know a lot of the incredible men and women up here that are here to keep us safe. I know that there might be mixed views, but I can tell you I work with many of them, and they are great people. I've been filtering messages nonstop. People worried that something is going to happen. It's like, not from us. And I can assure you they are here to keep us safe. That's the only reason I was ever up here, was to keep good, law-abiding, peaceful, loving Canadians safe. God bless our first responders, and God bless our truckers.
Daniel Bullford! Thank you, former corporal, standing on guard for thee. Oh, we love him, we love him, we love him. He's been absolutely key on our adopter trucker team. We would have fallen apart 5 days ago if it weren't for Danny. All right, we have some emergency first responders who have written a song for y'all. And they're all a little stage shy, but they're quite lovely boys. What? No, we're not coming. Okay, so let me hand this over to this handsome gentleman, and he's going to do the introduction.
My name's Martin Otino, and Danny Bullford is my boss. We're here on the safety team. We're firefighters. And we're here just to make sure that people are safe. We got your back, and I'm introducing a bunch of the most beautiful guys I know. So we wrote a song, and we're going to play it now, and we're going to get on with the program.
I think my guitar is wrecked from the cold weather.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Well, is there another guitar here close by you can plug in?
Already.
And we want to help and accommodate you. We will be back tomorrow and do this. But who do we have up? Who do we have next? I think we have our First Nations guy right there. There he is, Chief. Bring up the Chief. I want the Chief. All right. Part of our fringe minority, guys. We have to make sure we include the fringe. Oh, boys. The sound of freedom. That is the sound of freedom. Here he comes. Here he comes. Ladies and gentlemen, give our Chief a warm round of applause. Don't forget that.
Hey, everybody! We're all here. We're all here together through peace and love for our country. And the freedom for our children for the next 7 generations. My name is Chief Anderson. Been involved with Chris Kai speaking across the nation, as well as Pat King for bringing the truckers in and calling them here with this little fringe of people. Is this not what it's about? Unity! Unity for the people and for those children. So here, we're just going to sing a couple songs, and I'm going to let the mic over to Linda.
One more? Okay, one more beat, ladies and gentlemen. Warm these people up. Warm these freezing people up. Warm up their hearts.
Thank you. Merci.
Excuse me, I'm gonna put this on there.
We have a very interesting and dynamic duo. We've got a pair here of drummers. Yes, another pair of drummers. All right, so they've been walking around the convoys and they've been raising spirits and encouraging truckers to stay and hold the line. All right.
Salut Ottawa! Nous sommes ici depuis vendredi. Nous jouons du tambour dans les rues. C'est grâce au Canada que nous sommes aujourd'hui. Je vous demande à tous d'aller marcher dans les rues, de les soutenir. Ils sont seuls à des kilomètres. Avant de partir, marchez dans les rues. Allez leur dire bonjour. Allez leur dire merci. Nous allons marcher avec vous aussi. Marchez dans les rues avec les camionneurs. Friday, and we've been drumming in the streets, supporting the truckers that are stuck in the streets, and it's a right. It's you when you're going back, go and support the truckers that are in the streets as well. Thank you. This is the beat of life. This is the beat of freedom. We all got it inside of us. C'est le rythme du battement de nos cœurs. C'est notre sens d'amour de la vie.
Thank you for the cheer, the love. We have on stage so we can welcome up Jim Carhalio is next. He is a candidate from the New Blue Party of Ontario. Welcome, Jim.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you very much to the organizers of the event. I'm from the New Blue Party of Ontario, from the riding of Cambridge, and we're gathered here today for a piece of federal legislation. Justin Trudeau doing mandates on the truckers. But 2 years ago, do you all remember when Doug Ford put in the lockdown bill 2 years ago? There was one PC MPP who stood up and voted no to Doug Ford's lockdown bill. That was my wife, the member of Provincial Parliament in Cambridge, Belinda Carhalio. But she said, Jim, you got to get down to Queen's Park, challenging the Doug Ford government. She forced them to vote against that. Vaccination mandatory in healthcare.